La Liga already has a serious Barcelona problem.
Yo creo que el gran desafío del Barça era intentar volver a competir al máximo nivel.
And the most frightening part is that Hansi Flick has not finished building this team. Barcelona already dominated Spain. Now Flick is adding the exact profiles that could help them dominate Europe. He is not collecting famous names without a plan. He wants speed to attack space, intensity to press, quality to control possession, and players capable of protecting a defensive line positioned almost at the halfway line. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Flick already has one of the most decisive players in world football. Lamine Yamal finished the season with 24 goals and 18 assists in 45 matches. 42 direct goal contributions before turning 19. Those are not the numbers of a promising youngster. Those are superstar numbers. But Barcelona do not depend on him alone. Rafinha produced 21 goals and 8 assists in only 33 appearances. Dani Olmo added 8 goals and 10 assists across 49 matches, operating as a number 10, an interior midfielder, or an additional forward. Pedri contributed 2 goals and 12 assists in 43 matches, but his influence goes far beyond the numbers. He controls the rhythm, finds passing lanes inside the opposition block, and recognises when Barcelona must stop circulating and attack vertically. Flick has made him the brain of the system. Behind them, Pau Cubarsí played 48 matches and became the centre-back capable of protecting a defensive line positioned almost in midfield. Alejandro Balde completed 33 appearances and provided 3 assists, offering width and depth from the left. João Cancelo produced 2 goals and 4 assists in 23 matches, while moving between full-back, midfield, and creative positions during the same action. Joan Garcia finished the season with 18 clean sheets, providing security behind a defence that constantly accepts risk. And this is no coincidence. Flick's system begins as an asymmetric 4-2-3-1. The 3 lines remain close, the defence moves forwards, the press begins immediately after possession is lost. And Barcelona do not keep the ball simply to slow matches down. They circulate it to attract the opponent before attacking vertically. That structure already conquered Spain, but this is not all. Flick has added Anthony Gordon and Karim Adeyemi, 2 attackers designed for his football. Gordon arrives after producing 17 goals and 5 assists in 46 matches for Newcastle. In the Champions League, he recorded 10 goals and 2 assists in only 12 appearances. He presses, competes physically, attacks directly, and can play from the left or through the centre. Adeyemi produced 10 goals and 6 assists in 39 matches for Borussia Dortmund. But his most terrifying weapon is speed. He can exceed 36 kilometres per hour. Give him 1 metre and he can destroy an entire defensive line. Adeyemi also admitted that Flick was the main reason he chose Barcelona. The manager explained exactly what he needed from him, and Adeyemi accepted the challenge.
He took me to the biggest club in the world, and I cannot say it more often. I'm really thankful for this opportunity.
An absolute madness. Gordon and Adeyemi do not replace Barcelona's existing weapons. They multiply them. Barcelona are no longer dependent on one wing or one attacking rhythm. But the biggest story may not be another forward. Julian Alvarez received most of the media attention, but Frenkie de Jong's injury revealed a more important question. Who is the perfect midfield partner for Pedri? And that is where Rodri appears.
Pedri, and Pedri.
Reports claim that Rodri gave Barcelona the green light and spoke with Flick and Deco. But this must remain clear. Barcelona still need an agreement with Manchester City. Rodri is open to the move. He is not officially a Barcelona player. Tactically, however, the idea makes perfect sense. Rodri has the technique to play through pressure, the leadership to control difficult matches, and the positional intelligence to protect the centre and cover the spaces left by attacking fullbacks. He could allow Pedri to receive higher. Rodri controls the base. Pedri controls the final third.
It's very similar like Andrés Iniesta. It's a talent, it's a big talent, and I'm...
The comparison with Busquets and Iniesta is about functions, not identical players. One protects the structure, the other receives with greater freedom and creates. Rodri could organise the build-up, switch the play, and control transitions after Barcelona lose possession. That would allow Flick to accumulate more players in the opposition half without destroying the balance behind them. And the most frightening part is that Rodri would not be joining a weak midfield. He would be joining a monstrosity. Pedri, Dani Olmo, Marc Bernal, Fermin Lopez, Gavi, Frenkie de Jong, Marc Casado, and potentially Rodri. La Liga already struggled against Barcelona before those options were complete. Now imagine the problem if Rodri arrives.
It would be the right. He deserved it, but I guess maybe another one deserved it too, so the people vote. So Rodri had made not just this season, many seasons.
But even that is not the end of the project. Flick still has La Masia. Hamza Abdelkarim scored 6 goals in 11 matches before signing until 2029. He offers a different attacking profile. Physical, mobile, capable of linking play, and dangerous inside the penalty area. Ebrima Tunkara is only 16, already valued at €5 million, belongs to Barça Athletic, and regularly trains with the first team. They do not need to become permanent starters immediately. Their value is that Barcelona can develop new solutions without losing the identity of the project. That is why La Liga has a serious Barcelona problem. Flick already dominated Spain with Lamine, Pedri, Rafinha, Olmo, Kubasi, Balde, Cancelo, and Joan Garcia. Now he has added Gordon's aggression and Adeyemi's speed, and he may still add Rodri's control. This Barcelona can keep possession, press high, attack through combinations, destroy teams in transition, and create from both wings. And the high defensive line will always require perfect coordination. However, the direction is impossible to ignore. Flick is not rebuilding Barcelona anymore. He is completing it. And if Rodri eventually joins, the question will no longer be whether anyone in Spain can stop Barcelona. Flick has already answered that. The real question is much bigger. Who in Europe can stop them? For almost 2 decades, every Barcelona manager has lived under one impossible standard: Pep Guardiola.
This is the best club team ever.
Yeah,
that you've
easily.
ever seen.
Between 2008 and 2012, Guardiola built what Barcelona considers the greatest team in its history. 4 seasons, 14 trophies from 19 available, 3 La Liga titles, 2 Champions Leagues,
Champions!
2 Copa del Rey trophies, 3 Spanish Super Cups,
Y este el capitán del Barça, Carles Puyol, Barça campeón de...
2 UEFA Super Cups, and 2 Club World Cups. First came the treble, then football's first sextuple. But Guardiola's legacy was bigger than trophies. He established what Barcelona would demand forever: win, and win in a recognisable way. Possession, pressing, territorial domination, bravery. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. The 6-2 at the Bernabeu.
52 out of 54 points. That means league title 4. Here is Henry. Can he bounce?
The 5-0 against Mourinho's Madrid. The Wembley final against Manchester United. Those were not simply victories, they were demonstrations of superiority, and every Barcelona manager since has lived beneath that shadow. Tito Villanova was the first. He had worked beside Guardiola throughout those 14 trophies and understood the system from inside. In 2012/13, Barcelona won La Liga with 100 points, 115 goals in 38 matches, 32 victories, only 2 defeats. An absolute madness. Villanova proved the project could survive Guardiola, but illness ended his career before football could decide his story. Then came Tata Martino. He started well and won the Spanish Super Cup, but never completely convinced Barcelona. And this has to be said, at Barça, winning is not enough. Martino later explained that after beating Madrid 2-1, people discussed how Barcelona had scored almost as much as the victory itself.
Tenía más algo que ver con lo que juega Barcelona. Y de alguna manera lo que intentaremos es tratar de mejorar mucho más eso para que...
He wanted more speed and transitions, but his ideas never completely fitted what Barcelona believed Barcelona should be. Then Luis Enrique arrived. In his first season he won La Liga, the Copa del Rey,
years ago. So I think there's going to be a little bit of change for...
and the Champions League. Another treble. With Messi, Suarez and Neymar, Barcelona created one of history's deadliest attacks. Luis Enrique later added another Liga, the UEFA Super Cup and Club World Cup. But don't get me wrong, his Barça was different. With Xavi fading from the team and Iniesta losing physical influence, Barcelona became more vertical and dependent on its devastating front three. It worked, but eventually even Luis Enrique was exhausted.
Because I will need to rest, and that's the principle.
Guardiola had said something similar years earlier, because the Barcelona job demands everything.
4 anys és una eternitat per ser entrenador de Barcelona.
Results, style, media pressure, dressing room management, and constant perfection. After Luis Enrique, the identity began to fade. Ernesto Valverde was not a complete failure. He won 2 Ligas, a Copa del Rey, and a Spanish Super Cup. But Roma damaged his credibility. Anfield destroyed it. Barcelona were winning domestically while losing authority in Europe. Quique Setien arrived because his philosophy appeared compatible with the club's tradition, but he never completely controlled the dressing room or produced consistent results. Ronald Koeman inherited an even bigger disaster: pandemic, financial problems, Messi's departure,
Estaba convencido, pero este año no.
A squad needing reconstruction. He won the 2021 Copa del Rey, but European defeats and inconsistency eventually ended his project. By then, Barcelona were not merely losing trophies. They were losing what made them different. So they went home. Xavi Hernandez. Few people represented Barca's DNA better. He inherited a team sitting 9th in La Liga and rebuilt them into champions. He won La Liga in 2022/23 and the Spanish Super Cup.
It is official. Barcelona are back.
More importantly, he trusted youngsters such as Lamine Yamal and Pau Cubarsí. But his final season exposed familiar problems. The press weakened, control disappeared too often, standards dropped. Xavi later admitted that after winning La Liga, he had lowered those standards himself. After 143 matches, 91 victories and 2 trophies, he left. Then Barcelona made a different decision. They did not choose another former player. They chose Hansi Flick, a German outsider, but an outsider who understood Barcelona better than expected. Flick explained that he had spent years studying Dutch football and Johan Cruyff. His vision, he said, was naturally close to Barca's, and this is no coincidence. Flick recovered something Barcelona had gradually lost: identity. But he did not try to copy Guardiola. Flick added physical preparation, ferocious pressing, verticality, discipline, and freedom in attack. Barcelona became recognisable without becoming nostalgic, and the results followed. 5 trophies in his first 2 seasons, 2 La Liga titles, 2 Spanish Super Cups, 1 Copa del Rey. More importantly, he restored personality, confidence, and respect. And the most frightening part is what that means. For years, Barcelona searched for Guardiola's successor. Tito preserved his system. Luis Enrique modernised it. Martino tried to change it. Valverde stabilised it. Setien tried to recover it. Koeman rebuilt through chaos. Xavi returned to the roots. But Barcelona were asking the wrong question. They never needed another Guardiola. They needed someone who understood why Guardiola's Barca was special and could translate those principles into modern football. That is what Hansi Flick is doing. He is building the Barcelona of 2026, the next evolution of Barca. Hansi Flick did not arrive at Barcelona to destroy its DNA. He arrived to make it faster, more aggressive, and more dangerous. The foundations are still recognisable: pressing, possession, position. But Flick adds one crucial element: verticality. Barcelona can circulate horizontally to attract the opposition, but the moment a gap appears, everything changes. Attack. His 4-2-3-1 is extremely flexible. The fullbacks advance, the wingers stretch the pitch, interior players occupy different heights, and Barcelona can place up to 7 players inside the opposition half. Don't believe me? Take a look at this. Against Getafe, almost the entire system appeared in one move. Getafe recovered possession and attempted to counter, but Pau Cubarsí was positioned so high that he stepped away from the defensive line and recovered the ball almost at midfield. It immediately reached Pedri, and here comes the difference. Pedri did not pass backwards to rebuild. He looked forward. Firmino attacked the space. Pedri broke the defensive line with one vertical pass. Firmino finished. That is Flick's Barcelona. And this is no coincidence. Flick's press works because the team remain compact, the defence stays extremely high, and possession is recovered as close to the opposition goal as possible. That is why Barcelona's new attackers make so much sense. Gordon looks almost designed for this football. Against Cordoba, Dan Burn advanced from midfield while Gordon was already watching the space behind the defensive line. The moment it opened, Burn played forwards. Gordon exploded behind the defence, entered the box, and finished across goal. One pass, one run, half the defence eliminated. An absolute madness. Then comes Karim Adeyemi. Verticality taken to the extreme. Against Stuttgart, Adeyemi received almost inside his own half. He resisted Jeltsch's challenge and accelerated. He released Maximilian Bayer and immediately continued his run. Bayer returned the ball inside the box. Adeyemi finished against Nubel. Goal. In seconds, he travelled from his own half to the opposition penalty area. That is exactly what Flick wants to add. If the opponent presses high, Adeyemi can punish the space behind. If Barcelona recover possession and suddenly have 30 metres available, they do not need 20 passes. They need to find him. And because Gordon and Adeyemi can both move centrally, Flick does not necessarily require a static number 9. He can build around pressure, movement, and constant attacks behind the defence. That makes the front line almost impossible to predict. Lamine Yamal can remain wide and receive to feet. Rafinha can move between the lines. Dani Olmo can become a false 9. Gordon can attack inside from the left. Adeyemi can threaten the depth from either side, and Flick still has completely different solutions underneath them. Hamza Abdelkarim brings physical presence and penalty area instinct. Against Birmingham, His second goal came from simply recognising a poor defensive rebound and finishing immediately. No unnecessary touches, just striker instinct. Ibrahima Tunkara offers something completely different. Creativity between the lines, the final pass, different profiles for different problems. But this machine does not only need attackers, it needs someone who protects everything behind them. That is why Rodri could become the most important piece. Flick's double pivot requires one midfielder capable of protecting the centre, beginning possession and controlling transitions. The other can then move higher and connect with the attack. At the World Cup, he completed 811 passes and produced 122 line-breaking passes. 76 of them entered the final third. Now look at what happened against Argentina. Spain kept Argentina trapped inside their own half. Rodri remained behind the attacking line, controlling the base. He received possession and instead of playing sideways, immediately found Pedri around 20 metres further forward near the penalty area. Pedri controlled and shot. That could become the partnership that completes Flick's Barcelona, because Pedri is already devastating when allowed to look forwards. Against Betis, he received centrally and threaded a brilliant ball between defenders for Bardghji. Against Atletico Madrid, he recognised Rafinha's run and found him for the goal. Against Argentina, he repeatedly connected with Olmo, Lamine and Nico Williams around the penalty area. Now imagine Rodri permanently protecting the space behind him. That is the frightening part. Flick is not collecting stars, he is finding specific pieces for specific mechanisms. Gordon gives him aggression and direct running. Adeyemi gives him extreme depth. Hamza gives him a physical number 9. Tunkara offers creativity between the lines. Pedri gives him imagination. And Rodri could give him the control that allows everything else to become even more aggressive. Barcelona can already dominate possession. Now they can attack in seconds. They can already press high. Now they are adding players built to punish the turnovers that pressure creates. They already dominated Spain. And this is where the entire thesis becomes painfully obvious. La Liga's problem is not simply that Barcelona are already the strongest team in Spain. It is that Flick is still improving the machine that beat everyone. The old Barça wanted to control you with the ball. Flick's Barça can control you with the ball and then destroy you before you reorganise. And if Rodri eventually completes that midfield, Barcelona may finally have the balance to sustain all of it. Rodri behind Pedri, Pedri feeding Lamine, Gordon and Adeyemi attacking space, Rafinha pressing, Cubarsí defending almost at midfield. Everything connected, everything aggressive, everything designed to recover the ball and immediately hurt you again. Flick has already conquered Spain. Now he is building the version of Barcelona designed to conquer Europe.